to come up with at least a semi-quality start in 10 days. It's been kind of mind-boggling. You know, hopefully I won't kick the bucket before tomorrow, but I don't think I ever seen anything like it, and I'm not sure I'll ever be able to see that, where 10 games in a row, you know, you have an ERA over 12 from your starters.
Tonight, the Tribe and the Twins. It's game 2 of a 3-game series. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The question we're all wondering, when will the madness end? The Indians are just 2 losses shy now of equaling the longest losing streak in franchise history. Rick, it's no secret they need a well-pitched game, and more ways than one, because they need it for their own cause, their own sake, but also because Minnesota's swinging the bats as well as anybody in baseball right now.
Well, after a 1-0 lead last night, the problem is they're going back out and giving it right back to the opposing team. And 3 home runs in that 1 inning. They just couldn't escape it. They ended up putting 10 runs on the board. Of course, 8 of them were unearned, but it doesn't matter. They gave up a 10-run inning, but they're going to have to find somebody that can shut down the Minnesota Twins, because in the last 4 games, it's almost like a softball game. They've hit 8 home runs. They've stolen 9 bases. They're hitting with runners in scoring position. This is a team that has scored more runs than anybody in baseball since the All-Star break.
All right, the Indians made another roster move before today's ball game. They said goodbye once again to Jose Lopez, designating him for assignment for the 2nd time this year. And they've called up Frank Herman because that bullpen is depleted and they need help.
Well, that's exactly right. The pitchers are giving Manny Acta no innings, so they have to have fresh arms coming out of the bullpen, and they need a good start from a starting pitcher.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's Nissan Road-Ahead pitching matchup. Corey Kluber will get another start for the Tribe. His last one was a disastrous start, but after that he did settle in and pitch well.
Well, he learned something. He said he learned something from that start, because the first pitch was hit out of the ballpark. He gave up a 3-run homer later on in the inning, but he settled in. He started throwing his cutter, his breaking ball, and if he can continue to do that, he should be fine from the start of the ball game. He's going to be matched up against Samuel Deduno, who has pitched very well this year, 3-0. He went 7 innings, gave up 2 hits against the Indians his last time out. You have to be patient with this guy because he will walk you.
Get to a Nissan dealer for special offers on innovation that excites. We'll see if the Indians can break their 10-game slide. Coming up next, right here on Sports Time Ohio. Tuesday Night Baseball on Sports Time Ohio is brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. And a picture-perfect evening here at Progressive Field as the Indians try to stop the skid at 10. Corey Kluber on the hill for the Indians, making his warm-up tosses. While he does that, let's take a look at Ron Gardenhire's starting 9 for Minnesota. Denard Span in the leadoff spot, followed by Ben Revere riding a 20-game hitting streak. Then Joe Mauer, Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, and Ryan Domit in the middle. Tsuyoshi Nishioka at second base hitting 7th, and Brian Dozier and Jamie Carroll.
It'll be Corey Kluber making his second start. That is brought to you by MLB.com at Bat12. Visit Indians.com for the details. Kluber in his first start gave up 6 runs in that first inning. And his first pitch was a home run, but he settled in, pitched 3 1/3 after that. Started to use all his pitches. I think he got caught up into that first start and tried to power his way through it. Hopefully this one goes much better. Let's take a look at the defense behind Kluber tonight. It's Carrera in left, Brantley in center, Chu in right, Hanahan at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Kochman at first, Santana behind the plate.
Mike DeMuro will call the balls and strikes tonight. Jim Reynolds at first, James Hoy at second, the crew chief, Jim Joyce down at third. Denard Span steps in. We're ready to get underway. And Kluber's first pitch, a fastball over the outside corner for strike 1. Game time temperature 81 degrees, a light breeze blowing in from center field. Fouled back, and the count quickly 0-2. Fastball and then off-speed pitch to follow. Now the right-hander's 2-strike pitch. Just a little bit high. 1-2. Corey told me after his start in Kansas City, he fell into too much of a fastball pattern in that first inning. Said he felt like he learned something as the game wore on, mixing up his pitches more. And location. He said too many of my fastballs were just right down the middle of the plate, and you can't do that here.
Well, that happens to a lot of young pitchers when they get in trouble. They go right with their fastball because they feel that's their best pitch, and sometimes that gets you into trouble. You get into a situation you have to back off.
Swung on and missed. He strikes out Span to start the game.
And speaking of backing off, that was a changeup.
With more on Corey Kluber's approach tonight, here's Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, you and Rick just mentioned he's got to come out, establish the strike zone using all of his pitches. But pitching coach Scott Rudinski told me he's got to come out there and use his slider. That's his swing and miss pitch, and that's also the one that he can vary the speed on.
Now, that was a very good pitch for him in Kansas City once he got out of that first inning. It was a pitch he got some swings and misses on. And it complements his fastball very well. Here's Ben Revere, 4 hits in the ball game last night. We showed you in the starting lineup graphic a 20-game hitting streak. Fastball up and away, 2-0. Our league leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. Current hitting streaks, Revere trailing only Jose Reyes in Miami, who's riding a 24-game streak right now. And I make it 21 games now for Revere as he singles into right field.
Yeah, you can tell he's seeing the ball well. He's swinging it with confidence. A 2-0 pitch right there. He went with a fastball, which is fine. But, you know, he was looking for it, and he got a base hit. About as hot as you can get right now.
I think Revere kind of embodies the entire Minnesota Twins attitude right now. They went into Fenway Park. They won 3 out of 4 from the Red Sox. So they're playing with a great deal of confidence right now.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Joe Mauer steps in with Revere at first. He has 27 stolen bases. Kluber just missing in off the plate. Ball 1. Mauer was 3 for 5 last night with 2 doubles. Gives him 23 doubles on the year. That fastball in there to even the count of 1-1.
Mauer has grounded into 19 double plays this year. Kluber could use one.
Down and in, 2 balls and a strike.
Okay, he's been over there for a few pitches now to get a look at his move. This would be a good action count for Revere if he chooses to take off.
Missing again, 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, one thing he did go with an off-speed pitch there, but now you'll see what happens. Now in a 3-1 count, does he have the confidence to go with an off-speed pitch, or is he going to come in here and challenge him with a fastball?
Runner goes, pitch down low, ball 4. So the Twins have 2 on with 1 out. And Josh Willingham coming to the plate.
Well, you start your runner 3-1, and you know Mauer has a good eye at the plate. He's not going to swing at a pitch out of the zone, and he didn't.
Willingham last night 1 for 4. That one hit, his 29th home run of the year. A single season career high for Willingham, who's DHing tonight. In the air to left. Back goes Carrera. He's got it, 1 or 2 down. Back to second base goes Ben Revere. And Justin Morneau coming to the plate, and he has been locked in right now for Minnesota. 3 for 5, 2 home runs in last night's game. The second homer for Morneau, his 200th career home run. His last night, the damage Morneau did.
Well, when you look at it, it's the big, slow curveball there that was down in his wheelhouse, down and in, and then he hit a high tumbler from Tomlin. That ball was letter high. Both of them breaking balls, both of them left the ballpark.
With 2 on and 2 out, Kluber delivers, and it's outside 2-0. Four homers in 7 games this year against the Tribe for Morneau. And a 2-out base hit in the right center field. That's going to get Revere home. Mauer will go to third, and Minnesota takes a 1-0 lead. It's a 2-out RBI single for Justin Morneau, his 55th run batted in on the year.
Again, the second hit in the inning. They have 2 hits, both of them on 2-0 counts. This ball was away from Morneau. It looked like it was a fastball again. He comes in, he missed with a changeup the pitch before, but out over the plate. Gives him a little swinging room. And he lines it into right center field, so the Twins will get on the board. 1-0. 55th RBI for Morneau.
First and third with 2 down for Ryan Doman.
And this is an offense, Matt. They've been rolling since the All-Star break. They have scored more runs than anybody in baseball. So, you know, they get a 2-out base hit. That's the kind of confidence that can get them going, and they can relax. They say hitting is contagious. They're swinging it very well as a team.
Domit sends a sky-high pop, shallow left. In comes Carrera. He'll make the catch. And that ends the top half of the first. Twins get on the board early. They lead it 1-0. Indians coming to bat. Let's get a look at the Indians starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Jason Kipnis leads it off, followed by Asdrubal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo. Carlos Santana swinging a much better bat since the All-Star break in the cleanup spot than Michael Brantley and Casey Kochman. Shelley Duncan will DH and bat 7th. Jack Hanahan 8th. Ezekiel Carrera 9th.
Sam Deduno on the mound for the Minnesota Twins. He is 29. He's making his 6th major league start. He is 3-0 this year. He's pitched very well. 29 innings, though, but 20 walks. This is one guy you're going to have to be patient. His fastball is effectively wild, and when he falls behind in the count, he will sort of pitch backwards. He'll go with the off-speed pitches. I think he's got better control with his curveball. At least he did in his last start against the Indians. He walked 5 and had 6 strikeouts, but only gave up 2 hits in his 7 innings.
He starts Kipnis off with a pitch down Broadway, and Jason fouls it off. Chopper foul up the first base side, and it's 0-2. Deduno winds in the 0-2. Is again fouled by Kipnis, so he's aggressively attacking Deduno, taking a hack at all 3 of his pitches so far. Hit him on the front foot with a breaking ball, and Kipnis down to first. That pitch had some wicked movement on it, but it went right down at his foot. Watch this ball move.
Well, that's the breaking ball. The slider got him on the front foot. And that's the last thing he wanted to do after having him 0-2. But his first breaking ball of the night, and getting a feel for it, well, it hit him in the toe. So the Indians will get their base runner on.
Kipnis held at first by Morneau. And Cabrera shooting for the hole, gets it through. Kipnis going to hit second. He's going to dig for third. Revere's throw cut off. And the Indians have runners at first and third to start the game. Boy, Jason had his head down. He was going for third the whole way.
Well, that's good hustle. Make them throw you out. And Revere, normally a center fielder, but he is in right field and has been playing right field. After Cabrera pulls that ball in the hole, make him throw you out. It wasn't hit all that hard. It just found the right spot. Kipnis goes to third base. He has good speed to throw. Short hops. It's cut off by Dozier, and they have runners at the corners with nobody out.
And Shin-Soo Choo coming to the plate. Choo 1 for 4 last night. Low and away, ball 1. Choo has hit in 6 straight games, 7 for 25 during his streak. And on the year, a .287 hitter with runners in scoring position. Out of play to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Paduna was signed as a free agent by Minnesota in November. Originally drafted by the Rockies. But he is off to a very good start this year. His last start came in Boston. 6 innings. He gave up 2 hits. So back-to-back starts, he's only given up 2 hits. Well, he's given up 1 already.
Choo looks. It's down low. 2 balls and a strike. Remember last night the Indians loaded the bases with nobody out in the first inning and managed only the 1 run. So these situational hitting opportunities have been perplexing all season long. Nobody knows that more than Manny Acta. He's watched it all season long, and it's a big reason why they haven't been scoring. Throw to first. You know, the one game in Kansas City where they swung the bats pretty well when they were down 6-0. In fact, it was Kluber's start in that game. They were better situationally hitting. That's what enabled them to come back, get the runner over, get the runner in. They pecked away and came back to tie that game at 6 before ultimately falling in extra innings. Choo with a slow chopper to second. Nishioka to Dozier. Back to first, not in time. And the Indians have tied the game. Choo picks up RBI number 42 on the year.
Well, he gets his ground ball. It almost looks like Nishioka flipped a changeup up there.
Our great clip of the game from last night, Carlos Santana. Homering for the Indians, his 12th dinger on the year. Great clips. It's going to be great. Yeah, you're right. Nishioka's flipped to second.
It was a changeup. And real high. It wasn't very smooth right there. This is only his 2nd game since calling up, and I thought they had a chance. I thought he might even try and tag the runner without even having to make a flip. He didn't do it. But the Indians get that run in.
They were very high on him, signing him from Japan, but he has not panned out to this point. 1 on, 1 out. Tied at 1. Santana fouled it off his foot, and he goes down in a heap.
Once a night, it seems like, doesn't it?
Yeah. He's got that protective padding and then the extra piece that goes over the front of his foot, but it doesn't cover the toe.
No, it doesn't. That's exactly right. It's just like a catcher's shin guard, not going up over the knee, but it didn't help there.
Choo with a dozen steals at first and 1 out. The 0-1. Double play ball to second. Nishioka to Dozier. This time on to first. They complete the twin killing and the inning is over. 1-1 after 1. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. 1-1 second inning. For Minnesota, bottom third of the order coming up here. Nishioka, Dozier, and Carroll.
Well, the Tribe able to come back and answer that run that Minnesota put on, which is good.
That's something that they've definitely need to do a better job of, is not allowing the opposition to score when they score.
Right, shut down innings. Exactly.
Kluber's first pitch to Nishioka, outside, ball one. Twin second baseman this year at AAA, batted .245 with 1 homer, 24 ribbies.
Well, they say they're going to give this guy a look. See, that's why they called him up. He was a little shaky last night defensively in the times we've seen him. He was playing shortstop last year when he was up.
He committed 2 errors in last night's game.
You know, they're going to have to make a move, I think, on Friday. Trevor Plouffe is coming off the disabled as he had that bruised thumb. And, you know, there's talk. Everyone was thinking it might be Nishioka, but it could also be Dozier, the on-deck hitter, who's been struggling a little bit offensively as well.
Weekly chop to short. Cabrera unloads in a hurry, and that's out number 1. Our stat of the game is brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. And during this 10-game losing streak, the Indians have allowed 88 runs. That's the most they've allowed in any 10-game stretch since 1938. And
boy, that's turning back the clock.
What's an interesting side note to that streak is during that stretch where they allowed all those runs, Bob Feller was tagged for the worst loss of his career in a game against the New York Yankees when he pitched 7 innings and allowed 15 earned runs on 15 hits.
Yeah, it happens to Hall of Famers too.
It's the only game in his Hall of Fame career that he allowed double-digit runs.
Wow, that's impressive. Figure you got to have one. That's it.
That was it. That was this one bad one.
That's amazing.
And it happened to come against DiMaggio and Gehrig.
Well, at least it went against a good club.
Kluber 3-0 to Brian Dozier, hitting just .234. 0 for 3 last night. Finds a strike zone. It's 3-1. Popped him straight up. Santana in foul ground. Called off by Hanahan. 2 down. And now the number 9 hitter, Jamie Carroll, who went 0 for 3 last night. Down low, ball 1.
This is already the first time through the lineup, but his 5th 2-0 count.
In the air, right field. Routine for Chu. And Corey Kluber sets him down 1-2-3 here in the second inning. And for the Indians, Michael Brantley, Casey Kochman, and Shelley Duncan coming up. Samuel DeDuno misses down and in for ball 1. Brantley 1 for 3 last night with a double.
Well, hit a couple balls right on the nose as well. He's been swinging it well.
Downstairs 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. Casey Kochman waiting on deck, the 3-0. In there for a strike. And ball 4. Brantley is aboard to start the second inning. So Deduno has put the leadoff man aboard in the first 2 here tonight.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot Twins defense this evening behind Deduno. It's Dummett in left, Span in center, Rivera in right. Carroll at third, Dozier at short, Nishioka at second, Morneau is at first, Maurer behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Now Casey Kochman. Looks at ball 1. Kochman just 2 hits in his last 18 at bats. There's a strike to even the count of 1-1. Pitch out, but nothing doing.
You know, that's I'm glad they pitch out with this guy because his control's a little erratic. So they were guessing that Brantley would be off and running. I mean, as I mentioned, he walked 5 Indians last time, and this is a guy that he can lose a strike zone. You want to make him work it.
Ripped foul. And it's 2-2. Kochman, like so many of the Indians hitters, unable to get it going since the All-Star break, batting just 140, 8 for 57 since the All-Star break. Batting here with Brantley at first, nobody out in the second, and a 2-2 count. Chopped to first, foul.
I want to send along a happy birthday today. Sue Folk is her birthday today. Happy birthday, Sue.
I'm sure Jim was home baking a cake, busy all day.
He was. Maybe he'll be out taking her out to dinner tonight. I hope so.
Now the 2-2. Runner goes. Slowly chopped to the mound. Deduno fumbles with it. Recovers, throws, and gets Kochman for out number 1. Brantley in the scoring position. Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Now Rafael Perez through a pain-free bullpen session, so his rehab assignment is set to resume. And there is hope that Carlos Carrasco will pitch in some minor league games before the season ends, and that would be a good step in the right direction as they hope to get him back for the starting rotation next year. 1 on, 1 out, Shelley Duncan. Duncan last night 1 for 4 with an infield single. Brantley breaks for third. Duncan sends a long drive deep to left. Domet looking up. It is gone to Souvenir City. Shelley Duncan's 10th home run of the year. A 2-run blast to the bleachers and left puts the Indians on top 3-1.
That is the 100th homer for the Indians, and it's one that puts them on top. Deduno gives up his 4th. Shelley Duncan hits his 10th. And it is a breaking ball. Oh, yes, baby. A lot of times you'll see him hit that ball foul. Not this time. He let that one get a little deeper into the zone, and it goes up into the seats. It's a 3-1 Indians lead.
That's going to bring up Jack Hanahan as Duncan's drive has the Indians in front. And now Hanahan breaks his bat and drives a single into right field. So the Indians already 3 hits on the night.
It looked like he hit that ball on a good part of the bat.
I was going to say the same thing.
It didn't. It's not that he jammed it. It didn't look off the end of the bat. That bat just exploded. Tony gave him some bad wood. Gave him the one with the termites in there. Here, someone use that one.
Call Orkin.
Yeah.
Here is Ezekiel Carrero for 4 last night. Looks at a ball up high.
That might have been Marty that gave it to him. He was doctoring that bat. We're on the road.
Still only 1 out in the inning. Big swing and a foul back, 1-1. And another foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carrera had a terrific series against the Tigers up in Detroit. Three days ago, had that game with 2 triples. Down on the count here, 1-2. And he strikes him out. 2 away. First K for Deduno. Just his 20th on the year. And back to the top of the order with 2 down, Jason Kipnis. He was hit by a pitch and came around to score the first run for the Indians in inning number 1. Fouled right back. Missed outside with it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like the Indians' philosophy here is trying to get on that first pitch from Deduno early. 5 of the 10 guys have swung at the first pitch.
Swung on and missed. It's 1-2.
Almost like he tries to, if he can get ahead of you, then he, that ball goes all over the place. But when you think about it, Kipnis was hit in the first inning to lead off the inning. He came around to score on a ground ball, and then the walk this inning by Michael Brantley scored on Duncan's homer.
Got a piece, stays alive as Maurer couldn't hold it.
It's a big breaking ball. That's a curveball right there.
I can see where the philosophy makes sense, though. If you get a first pitch fastball and it's there, go ahead, be aggressive. But if he's not throwing strike 1 early, then you want to be patient, because his game is to get you to expand your zone.
The key, you said it. If you get your fastball, get after it. I have no problem with that. Sometimes I said earlier that he will pitch backwards. When he gets behind the count, he'll throw that curveball, and he'll throw changeups or that cutter that he has instead of the fastball.
Hanahan at first with 2 down and a 2-2 count on Kipnis. And again, it's fouled out of play. And Deduno's 2-2. The fastball ran off the plate in a full count. So Kipnis, who was down 0-2 in his first at bat, then got hit by a pitch. Fell behind in this at bat as well, but he's worked the count back to full, and Hanahan will take off on this 3-2 pitch to Jason Kipnis here in inning number 2, and the Tribe leading it 3-1. 3-2 slider misses down and in. And the Indians have 2 on, with 2 out for Asdrubal Cabrera, who singled his first time up. And now 2 walks in the inning for Deduno as Joe Mauer goes out to have a chat. You like to use that phrase, hit to take. That's almost a game plan against a guy like this.
That's right. Hit to take. Yes, with the way you're looking at this guy, I would. That's not a bad philosophy when you go up there. Some guys are patient. Some guys can't. I mean, Michael Brantley, it doesn't matter. He's a great hitter with 2 strikes. He can take and look at you all day long and still find a base hit. But most guys aren't as patient.
Cabrera takes low, ball 1.
And, yeah, take every breaking ball or off-speed pitch on the first pitch. But if you get your fastball, get after it. I like that.
I think that's been a little bit of a problem for Cabrera here lately. He's been overly aggressive. He's maybe gone out of his comfort zone early in counts.
A lot of times hitters do when they want to do too much.
That almost stayed fair. Well, that was, unless it hit him in the box. I don't think it did.
No, he was just praying it went foul, and it did.
.40 pitches now for Deduno. 2 down in the second with 2 aboard. And a 1-1 count for Cabrera. And a 1-hop smash by Nishioka into center field. Hanahan will come home to score. Kipnis on his way to third. He'll be stopped there. Asdrubal Cabrera delivers a 2-out RBI single, and it's a 4-1 Indians lead. They've come back with 3 runs here in the second inning as they keep the offensive momentum going.
Very good job of hitting Cabrera. He smokes that ball, and all the runs coming right there. After the walk, another 2-out base hit. It's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Looked like a changeup up. He left up out over the plate. Cabrera stayed on it nicely, drilled it. Nishioka dives for it, but it's past him, hit too hard. Hanahan scores. Kipnis to third.
And Shin-Soo Choo will be the 8th man to bat in the inning.
I'll tell you, the Indians are going to take it out on somebody when they get it rolling. And this could be the night.
Choo takes it's down and in for ball 1. So you can see that approach. If you get the fastball early, be aggressive. If not, hold up, take. And it's put them in good hitters counts. And they have really taken advantage to this point. That fastball had some movement on it, 1-1. Choo picked up an RBI when he bounced into a fielder's choice in inning number 1. Cabrera breaks for second base. He'll go in without a throw. There's Dribble's 5th stolen base on the year, and the Indians now have 2 in scoring position for Chu and a 2-1 count.
Well, they knew they were not even going to throw through with Kipnis on third base. You have good speed, so go ahead and get yourself in scoring position. Playing way back. Cabrera not a base stealer, but they want to give it to him. You certainly take it.
Swung on and missed. Foul tipped right into the glove of Maurer, and a 2-2 count. Chu has come up with a lot of clutch hits this year. It's another reason why Manny has moved him down into the RBI spot in the order, out of the leadoff hole, because he has extra base power with 33 doubles and a lot of 2-out RBI hits. 2-2. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out to end the inning. But the Tribe scores 3 in the second, and they lead it 4-1. One to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Texan friends, hey, the Indians have a lead. Up 4-1 here in the third inning. Top of the order coming up for Minnesota. Corey Kluber went through them 1, 2, 3 in the second inning. Last night, the second inning was a disaster. It was a trap door for Zach McAllister and company as the Minnesota Twins jumped on him for 10 runs. Different story tonight. And now Kluber will take aim on Denard Span, who he struck out his first time up.
Well, the good thing I liked about it is Kluber came out in the second inning and put a 0 on the board after the Indians started, and guess what? They added on. So one more 0 here would be really nice.
Fastball strike evens the count of 1-1. Slowly chopped to second. Kipnis bobbles it, recovers, and throws him out. And let's check in right now with Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, this Sunday is the next bobblehead giveaway of the season. Make sure you're here. The Boston Red Sox will be in town, and get here early because the first 15,000 fans through the gates will take home Gaylord Perry's bobblehead, presented by Progressive Insurance. If you need your tickets, log on to Indians.com and get them now.
Should be a lot of fun Sunday.
Well, and Saturday night they have the inductions into the Indians Hall of Fame. Gaylord would be inducted. Jimmy Warfield, Jack Graney. Festivities on Saturday night. They have a luncheon at 11 o'clock from 11 to 1. So go to Indians.com if you're interested in attending that.
Ben Revere extended his hitting streak to 21 games with a single in the first, and he came around to score the Twins' only run. In the air, left field, over near the line. Long run for Carrera. Makes the catch, hangs on, bangs into the railing for out number 2. Good concentration by Carrera, as Kluber is now set down 6 straight.
Well, the ball boy down the line did his job, got the seat, got out of the way. That guy didn't interfere, and he's able to get over there right at the railing, catch it. Nice job.
And now Joe Mauer, who walked his first time up. And a fastball down low, ball 1. Caught the corner. Oh, nice pitch.
Nice cutter following up the changeup. See how that had to run to it.
Yeah, good movement.
Yeah,
1-2 the count.
That's a cutter. Into the left-handers. You cut that baseball right at the last minute. It goes in. A very good pitch because of the location of that pitch.
And the 1-2 hit in the hole. Diving stop by Kochman from a knee. Throws him out. Terrific play by Casey Kochman to end the third. 4-1 Cleveland. On top, bottom of the third, will feature Carlos Santana, Michael Brantley, and Casey Kochman. Carlos Santana banged into a double play that ended the first inning. And that pitch is up high, ball one. Chopped to first, but a foul ball. DeDuno making his 6th start for Minnesota. And the most runs he's allowed in any start was 4 runs against Baltimore, and only 3 of those were earned back on July 17th. So the Indians have already put 4 on the board and are all earned here this evening. Another foul ball, 1-2. Way outside to even the count at 2-2. Samuel DeDuno needed 34 pitches to get through that second inning. He's now at 50 for the game. And it's outside, 2-2. Up and away. Santana works it for a walk. And he's aboard to start the third. So all 3 innings, the Indians have had their leadoff man aboard. AT&T trivia question. 4 players in Twins history have had consecutive seasons of 30 homers. Who are they? We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. Brantley fouls at first base side. Brantley with an opposite field line drive single to left. And Santana will stop at second. The Indians have their first 2 on here in the third as they keep the pressure on DeDuno.
Well, Michael comes in and that ball is down and he just waits on it and takes it the other way. Look at that swing. Inside out. And you know, when you've got to have very good hands to hit that ball on the line. A lot of times it's easy to pop up in the air, but to hit a line drive, great hands by Michael right there. Gets his first hit, so the Indians back at it again, looking to score some more.
And Casey Kochman, a tapper back to the mound his first time up. He squares to bunt. Like the decision here. Bunted it a little too hard, though, and it goes foul.
But that's a case in that situation. You can bunt it that hard and make the third baseman field it. It's still his only play would be first base.
Kochman takes a long look down at third base coach Steve Smith before he climbs back in. Jamie Carroll even with the bag at third. Morneau even with the bag at first. Activity in the Minnesota bullpen as Morneau now drops behind Santana at first base. Kochman squares, pulls it back, it's up high. Now Carroll looks across the diamond at Morneau as they talk about how they're going to play this. Morneau once again will drop behind Brantley. Now he comes in front of him. Now he will pinch. Kochman takes a strike on the outside corner. Now the infielders will back up. Slowly chopped to first. Morneau's only play will be to flip it to Deduno, so it works out just like a sacrifice bunt. And the Indians have runners at second and third with one out. Poor Shelley Duncan, who hit the 2-run homer his first time up. Tribe looking to add to the lead, and that's all you want to do here. Get that run home from third.
That's right. You have an opportunity. You have a chance to increase the lead. Get one in. Don't get greedy. Look for a ball to elevate, hit it in the air.
Twins bring the infield in.
Yeah, they're going to play it in and cut it off. Or try to.
Shelley fouls it off the other way. Cracked his bat. He'll need a new piece of lumber. Only thing he cracked the first time up was the baseball.
But you see how he let that curveball get to him? You know, he didn't go out to get it. He let it come right there, and he hit that ball well.
Which is why so many times, as you pointed out earlier, he hits that ball, tends to hit that ball foul because he goes out
to get it. That one, he let it come to him, and he hit it very well.
Deduno ready with the 0-1. This is his 60th pitch of the night. And it misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tribe on top 4-1, looking to extend the lead here. Now Maurer wants to go out and talk. Also, Dozier, the shortstop's coming in.
He wants to figure out what they want to throw because Maurer put down just about everything. And now Dozier wants to come in and make sure that the middle of the infield that he's sure what the signs are with these two.
Missed down low with it. 2 balls and a strike. Got Deduno on the ropes with that Twins bullpen busy. Trying to deliver maybe an early knockout punch. 2-1. Low. 3 balls and a strike. Jack Hanahan waits on deck. Santana's at third, Brantley's at second. Infield in, 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 and they're loaded up. That's going to bring out the pitching coach, Rick Anderson. As Jack Hanahan will be coming to the plate.
Could be one hitter from being out of this ball game.
While they talk it over, let's send it back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pulowski.
Hey, Matt, Rick, let's go to Detroit. Tigers taking on the Yankees scoreless into the 4th inning, and Eric Chavez changes that with his 2-run homer to left. That's his 11th of the year, and the Yankees on top of the Tigers 2-0. Bottom of the 4th inning in Motown. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Hey, after the ball game tonight, stay tuned for PNC Bank Training Camp Daily. Jim Donovan, Tony Grossi, Andre Knott. I have all the latest news from Berea. Jim will sit down with Brandon Whedon, named the starting quarterback for the Browns in their first preseason game. But right now it looks unlikely that Trent Richardson will suit up for that game. Pat Shurmur, the head coach, said today he may miss the first preseason game with what the coach calls a sore knee. He was at practice today but had that knee wrapped up. So stay tuned, guys. I'll have all the latest on the PNC Bank Training Camp Daily Show. Bases loaded, 1 out. Jack Hanahan coming to the plate here. Hanahan, a broken bat single to right his first time up. And he bangs one. Morneau with a great grab. Goes to second for one. Return throw in time. Inning-ending double play. Tribe still on top, 4-1 as we go to the fourth.
Food right here at Progressive Field, all for just $8. You got the hot dog classic combo deal. It includes a Sugardale all beef hot dog, 16-ounce Pepsi, and a large popcorn. And then the Brat classic combo includes a Brat and a 12-ounce beer, both for just $8. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Fourth inning, 4-1 Cleveland. Corey Kluber has made 41 pitches so far. And what's interesting in that is that he threw 11 balls that were out of the strike zone in the first inning, only 7 in the second, and only 2 in the third. So he's throwing more strikes. That looked like a great pitch. Called a ball. Willingham fly to left his first time up. Swung on and missed. 1-1. High fly ball, left field. Back goes Carrera. Plenty of room. One away, and now Corey Kluber has retired 8 straight Twins hitters. Minor League Report brought to you by University Hospitals. Luis De Jesus, the Minor League Player of the Week. Started 2 games, worked 13 innings, struck out 8, didn't walk a batter, and he's on a 4-0 record on the year in 9 starts with a 1.41 ERA. Here's Justin Morneau, the last Twin to reach, with an RBI single with 2 outs in the first inning. And that good changeup. Swung on and missed for strike 1. In the air, center field, routine. Brantley calling for it all the way. 2 down. Rick, it seems like, and again, this is a very small sampling of what we've seen from Corey Kluber, but once he gets a feel for what the hitters are looking for, what they're doing, maybe first time through or early in the game, he'll work off of that. Seems to make some in-game adjustments as he's going along here.
Command. He's got to throw his pitches for strikes. You know, he's had 5 or 6 2-0 counts. And he's gone at him, you know, with the fastball 2-0. The first 2 hits he gave up in the first inning came off 2-0 counts. Now he's settling in, relaxing a little bit more. He needs to throw all 3 pitches for strikes. I mean, these guys are facing him for the first time, just like Kansas City was, and it's all about location of the pitches. He's going to get a little more confidence. But you see, he started after Morneau got that hit when he threw him the first time up a fastball up and away. He got it. He started him off changeup. He got the swing and a miss.
He's 2-0 to Doman, who fly to left his first time up.
Here's a 2-0 changeup. There you go. Instead of giving in, because now those guys were sitting down watching that first time he went 2-0. And look at it's that circle change, and that's where you get the movement going down. Good pitch.
That one's up in the strike zone a little bit and line to left for a hit. 2-out knock for Doman. That snaps a string of 9 in a row, retired by the Indians right-hander. Nishioka bats here with 2 down and a runner at first. He grounded to short his first time up. Missed inside, 2-0. Popped out of play. And the count 2 balls and a strike. Seattle leading Baltimore 5-2 in the third. In Baltimore, New York over Detroit 2-1. They're in the fourth at Comerica. Rangers Red Sox scoreless. They're in the fifth at Fenway. Kluber's 2-1 pitch. Up and away, 3 balls and a strike. Royals White Sox just underway in Chicago. No score in the first. And it's ball 4. He walks Nishioka. So 2 on, 2 out for Brian Dozier. Santana goes out to the mound. And out comes Scott Radinsky. Obviously, he sees something after that walk to Nishioka.
Yeah, that's a guy you want to go after. 2 outs. You got the first 2 out. So he just wants to settle him down. Hey, get back into where you were doing. Use that fastball. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure a lot of what Rad is saying is like you get to the bottom part of the order. Don't get too fine with your pitches. Challenge him.
Well, you should be that way throughout the whole order, you know. Trust your stuff and go after him. Let him put the ball in play. You have a 3-run lead. Don't give him any free base runners.
Brian Dozier fouled out his first time up.
No, he was down in the count. He was ahead in the count, I should say, 3-0. And ended up making it out. He came back to get him.
And an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Broke his bat. Weekly rolled to short, and a very close play at second base, but Nishioka out on the force. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. 4-1 Cleveland. 4-1 lead. Ezekiel Carrera will lead off here for the Tribe. Samuel Deduno, who was on the ropes in the third inning with the bases loaded and one out, but he got a double play ball for the second time tonight to get out of trouble.
The Indians have hit into 6 double plays in the 2 games here. 4 last night, already 2 tonight.
Down on the dirt, 2 balls and a strike.
They have had their leadoff man aboard every inning.
And a smash to first. Morneau knocks it down and tags the bag for the out, 1 away. Subway Browns postgame live back this year for another season. Tune in Friday night after the Browns-Lions game. Michael Regai will take your calls and emails, plus he'll have postgame player interviews, press conferences. It's all on the Subway Browns postgame live Friday night after the Browns take on the Lions in Detroit. Jason Kipnis looks at a breaking ball down low. Kipnis hit by a pitch and scored in the first. He walked. Wound up stranded at third in the second. Three and 0. Finds the strike zone. Takes another full count. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out, 2 down. Third strikeout for Deduno. Our highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. And Asdrubal Cabrera tonight 2 for 2 with a couple of base hits. The one in the second inning came with 2 outs, and it drove home the Indians' 4th run of the game. There's a case when we talked about a little overly aggressive early in the count.
Well, because he has 2 hits on 4 pitches in his first 2 at-bats, so he figured, okay, same thing's going to happen. He can throw it early. I'm going to get a base hit, but he over-anxious. Now he throws him a good breaking ball, and he's down in the count 0-2.
One ball, 2 strikes. Pulls it foul. Count remains 1-2. Indians on top 4-1 with a solo run in the first inning on a RBI ground out by Chu. 3 more come home in the second. 2-run homer by Duncan. The RBI hit by Cabrera. Back out of play. It stays 1-2.
Well, 2 years ago, Video Joe, a good friend of ours, Video Joe Cataliotti, he passed. His family's at the ball game tonight, taking in the baseball game. So we want to send out a shout out. Hello to them.
Yeah. Video Joe.
He was around a long time here.
A lot of fun. Up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good friend to everybody around the Indians family.
Longtime police officer as well.
Right.
Now the 2-2. Up and away, a full count. So Cabrera's done a nice job to get back to a full count. Number of Indians hitters have been able to do that tonight. You get down early, but
this guy will let you in. He'll let you back into the count.
Fouled back. That's the thing you wonder about with a pitcher like DeDuno. Even though he's had success, he's 3-0 in his 5 starts coming in. You wonder, as he gets around the league and hitters see more of him, if he'll be able to maintain this kind of success level.
That's a good question and a good point. You know, once they start getting used to him, who knows?
Obviously, he'll have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to throw more strikes because when you look at it now, he's at, what, 83? And you're in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah.
So that's over 20 pitches per inning. You're not going to last very long doing that. And you get to the good offenses, the guys that can really sit and make you work and foul off pitches after pitch. You know, he could be deeper than that. And this guy, he preaches strikes.
He's new to the program, so he'll have to learn.
Yeah, that's true.
Ball 4.
That is very true.
A 10-pitch at bat for Cabrera, but he works it for a 2-out walk to keep the inning alive for Shin-Soo Choo, who was 0 for 2 tonight.
Cabrera turned that into a really good at-bat after being down 0-2. Drawing the walk, so he's been on 3 times tonight.
As Dribble draws a throw, he stole a base in inning number 2, but that was with a runner at third, and they weren't really going to take a shot at him with Kipnis at third base in that instance. Hit on the ground right at the third baseman, Carroll, who played a very bad hop. Then he throws it away. Ball stays in play for the moment, then it bounces up into the crowd. And they're going to say the runner, Cabrera, will have to stay at third.
Yeah, it's an overthrow, 1 base. You see, Carroll did a nice job on that hop that he got. It looked like it hit the lip of the grass and stayed down. And then as he went down in the throw to first base, ended up getting a little too much air under it over the head of Morneau. And it gets into the seats. Watch the bounce. That'll be an error on Carroll.
That's an unfortunate bounce for the Indians if that ball stays in fair.
Right.
I mean, if it stays in play, Cabrera's going to score easily, but it took the hop up into the seats. So second and third with 2 down. Santana an opportunity now. Walked his last time up. Already 85 pitches for DeDuno.
Yeah, make this hurt. I mean, you got to make this one hurt. If you can get a base hit here, you make it a 6-1 game. He should have been out of the inning. That can deflate them a little bit and give you a big boost here. And be patient. You have first base open. You know, think about this. With 2 outs, you're running on the play. So he was rounding second, going to third. The ball gets over the head of Morneau. If it stays in play, possibility he might have been able to score.
Santana sends a pop to right. And that's going to end the inning. Tribe strands a pair. They lead it 4-1 as we go to the 5th. with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. By Kia, Cleveland.com, and by First Merit Bank. Corey Kluber will start the 5th inning with 57 pitches under his belt. By comparison, his counterpart Samuel DeDuno has made 87 pitches tonight. So for a change, we got an Indian starter out here throwing very well.
Well, it's a 5th inning and he's a starter still out there. That's a good sign.
I don't mean to make light of the 10-game slide, but I mean, it's just, I mean, Manny Actas even said it a number of times after press conferences. You can't believe what you're seeing, night in and night out.
Someone has to step up and do it. And, you know, they will eventually, and tonight could be the night. He's into the 5th inning. They have a 4-1 lead. And Kluber has only given up 3 hits.
Right back up the middle. He knocks it down and throws him out. 1 down. The one thing I'm sure Kluber would like is to throw more strikes. You know, the ball to strike ratio isn't where he wants it to be. Hit him off the just below the right knee.
But it took a nice bounce where he was able to pick it up and throw him out. Now going through the 3rd time could be something here where the hitters have a decent idea of what he's throwing up there and certain pitches in certain counts.
First time through the lineup, he allowed 2 hits. Second time through the lineup, just 1. That one's gapped right center all the way to the wall. Span can fly. He's around first, on his way to second. He'll pull in there with a 1-out double. Double number 29 for Span.
That was a changeup. A little changeup going down and away. And he stayed back on that one and hit it into the gap. So he might have been able to pick something up there. So a 1-out double now for the Twins. Bring up their hottest hitter.
Revere singled and scored in the 1st. And then in the 3rd, he sent a foul ball down the left side that Carrera made a nice catch going over the side of the railing. First pitch strike.
21-game hitting streak for this young man. That's a good streak. That's 3 weeks, boy. Every day getting out there and getting a base knock.
A little bit outside. He's closing in on Torrey Hunter's 23-game hitting streak that was back in April and May of 2007. Two balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike. Also, Revere just won behind Michael Brantley for the 2nd longest hitting streak in the American League this year. The 3-1. And he walked him, so 2 on with 1 out. And Joe Mauer coming to the plate. Joe Mauer walked in the 1st inning. And then Casey Kochman robbed him of a hit in the third with a terrific diving stop.
Well, they have the speed on base right now. It's a matter of Kluber throwing strikes.
Yeah, he's just 34 strikes to 32 balls in the game. And this, as you said, the third time through the lineup. Misses again, 2-0.
Comes back with another changeup, a little low.
Hard hit ground ball to Cabrera, to Kipnis, on to Kochman, an inning ending double play. Just what the doctor ordered for Corey Kluber. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth, 4-1 Indians. Indians lead it. And as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning, the Minnesota Twins go to their bullpen for the first time tonight. Right-hander Jeff Manship coming on.
10th time. Paduno done. So the Indians certainly turned the tables on him from the start he had back in Minnesota, where he went 7 innings and allowed just 2 hits and did not allow a run. They got 4 on the board tonight in 4 innings. But he was in trouble all night. He had a couple of double play balls that got him out of trouble.
Jeff Manship was a 14th round pick of the Twins out of Notre Dame back in 2006. Fouled away. Manship was a teammate of Jeff Smarja while he was at Notre Dame. Michael Brantley, a walk and a single and a run scored on the night.
Send along some birthday wishes to Kathy Fedor of Menor, turning 70. Let me see a couple of anniversaries. Vance and Claretta Underwood of Painesville celebrating their 58. And George and Alice Pye celebrating their 58th as well in Lakewood. Congratulations.
Back out of play. Count 0-2 on Brantley. Off-speed pitch misses down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. White Sox lead the Royals 1-0. They're in the 2nd inning in Chicago. Tigers out in front of the Yankees 4-2. They're in the 5th in Detroit. Texas over the Rangers, or over the Red Sox 2-0 in the 6th at Boston. Seattle leading Baltimore 5-2. They're in the 5th at Camden Yards. Got a piece, but Maurer couldn't hang on. And I think that got more of him than he got of it. All right, let's take a look at what happened earlier tonight. If you joined us late, Twins got the early lead. Justin Morneau, a 2-out RBI single in the first, made it 1-0 Minnesota. But the Indians roared back. A 2-run homer by Shelley Duncan in the second. And then a 2-out RBI single by Asdrubal Cabrera made it a 3-run inning. And the Tribe leads it 4-1. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Now, Michael Brantley, the batter, a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Indians had an opportunity to add to their lead in the 3rd. Bases loaded and only 1 out. But Hanahan hit into an inning-ending double play on a nice play made by Justin Morneau at first. Then they had 2 on with 2 out in the 4th inning, but Santana flied out to end that threat. And Brantley out looking. Good pitch by Manship. 1 down. Casey Kochman coming to the plate here. And he rips it into right field, hit it all the way to the fence. And Kochman digging for 2. He'll go in standing with a 1-out double. For Kochman, our double number 11 on the year. And another runner in scoring position.
First
now.
Double for the Indians tonight, but you're right. They've got another chance to add on here. Good part of the ball game to do that. He left the fastball up for Casey that he ropes down into the corner. Gets all the way to the wall.
And brings up Shelley Duncan. 2-run homer his first time up, walked his last time up. Smoked foul down the left side. Down on the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, during the Indians on Deck show today, they had a poll question. You know, what needs to improve more during this 10-game slide, or who's more to blame, the hitting or the pitching? And I think 98% of the folks who voted said it's the pitching. Pitching's got to get better. Well, it's certainly been better so far tonight. And the offense has chipped in with 4 runs to give them the lead. But I was looking, Rick, the franchise longest losing streak, 12 games. 1931. The Indians have been outscored during their 10-game slide. They're giving up over 8 runs a game. They're scoring just a shade over 3 runs a game. During their 12-game franchise longest losing streak, they gave up 8.5 runs a game, and they scored just over 4 runs a game.
Wow.
So it's very similar. When you go into a funk, that's usually what happens. It's not one thing or the other. It's usually everything goes bad at the same time.
Combination of everything.
Duncan drills it deep left, but foul. He had the distance for his second home run of the night, but just a little too far out in front of it as they scramble for the loose ball.
Yeah, again, he's going to throw him something up there that Shelley gets out in front of, and he pulls it foul. That's what you see. Both those pitches he threw to him were fastballs in that at bat that he laced down there, and then the fastball. And that first at bat, he hit the breaking ball first for a home run and kept it fair. That's what surprised me. He let it get. He tracked it deep into the zone. That was a changeup. You know, when you see guys and they hit the ball hard and they're fastballs and they pull them, you have to throw them something off speed, don't you? I mean, because they're ready for your best pitch and they're turning it around in a hurry.
You could see how far out in front he was on that one, but Manship left it up, so
right.
He was able to foul it.
You got to locate it. If you get located down, you probably get a swing and miss.
Just got a piece of that off the end of the bat.
Only this one's the breaking ball now. That one was located very well, and it's off the end of the bat. So Shelley does a nice job to stay alive. He was fooled. You can see how far out in front he was. He's very lucky to get a piece. But he's there to live for one more pitch.
Digs it out, foul, third base side. Just barely. Kochman at second base with 1 out here in the 5th. And a 4-1 Indians lead. Down on the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And this will be a 9-pitch at bat for Shelley Duncan. He keeps getting just a little piece of those off-speed pitches to keep himself alive and earn himself one more shot.
Right. I mean, right off the edge. Look at, he's checking out the cup. Might have cut that baseball.
Now the 2-2. And he finally got him to swing and miss. Second strikeout of the inning, 2 down.
Well, plan your trip down to Progressive Field with the Indians' new transportation options, a RTA rail service with an Indians family fare for only $10 round trip, or you can ride the Ohio City Shuttle. for free or guaranteed parking in the Gateway Garage with advanced purchase online. Log on to Indians.com for all your details.
Jack Hanahan 1 out of 2 tonight. Singled and scored in the second. Bounced into a double play. Back in the third. Up and away, ball 1. Good changeup, 1-1. Minnesota, the highest scoring team in baseball since the All-Star break. But Corey Kluber has held them in check through 5 innings. Indians trying to add to their lead over Ron Gardenhire's Twins. In the dirt, 2-1. Three and one. Boy, we were talking last night about that matchup between the Angels and the A's. We're talking about it'll be some good pitching. Didn't disappoint last night. Weaver, 15th win of the year with the shutout. He's 15-1.
Yes.
And the Angels move a half game in front of the A's in the AL West.
They got C.J. Wilson and Cologne going at it tonight.
3-1 to Hanahan. Hit foul, out of play. Full count. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. That is the 5th walk issued by Twins pitchers here tonight. 2 on, 2 out for Ezequiel Carrera. 6th walk?
I think he had 5 to Duno. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. He did have 5. Way too many for Rick Anderson. No doubt about that. Carrera takes a strike.
Yeah, he walked 5 and he hit a batter.
And he hit Kipnis, right?
Right. So the hit batter came around to score, and so did one of the walks. I'd like to see him take advantage of it again. They've been good at that this year when the opportunity was there.
That's out of play. 0-2 the count on Carrera, who is 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 6 now in the series. Jeff Manship delivers. And it's fouled away again. Leaned away, just missing. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Trying to get that ball to run back over the inside part of the plate, but it does not come back enough.
the dirt. 2-2. Jeff Manship has already made 31 pitches in this inning. He has 2 strikeouts, a walk, and he's given up a double. Deep and foul, way out of play by Carrera. That's the second home run foul in the inning we've had. One by Duncan, now one by Carrera. Two on, 2 out, 2-ball, 2-strike count. Man, we're going through some baseballs, huh?
Yeah, they're fouling some off, making him really work. He's got 33 pitches in this inning. In his first inning of relief, he struck out 2. He's walked 1. He's given up a double. And 15 foul balls by Indians hitters.
2-2. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out to end the inning. 5 complete. 4-1 Cleveland.
Subway to pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discounts to sit right here in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money. Remember, Subway is where winners eat. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back over to you guys.
Four-1 Indians on top as we go to the 6th inning. Corey Kluber has allowed 1 run on 4 hits in 5 innings of work. He has struck out 1 batter. And he has walked 3. He'll be facing Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, and Ryan Doman.
Well, Willingham has just missed a couple balls to left field tonight. First one got in on him a little bit. Next one he hit high, but he is trying to leave the yard. He hit his 29th last night. That is his career high. Tied it from last year when he was with the Oakland A's. 29 homers. He's having a great year. 83 RBIs. DHing tonight, though. Gets the day off, I'm sure, with the day game tomorrow. Gardenhire says, you relax tonight. We'll get you right back out there to play defense tomorrow. Noon game. No television tomorrow.
Two balls and a strike.
You're going to come anyway and sit in the seats, aren't you?
Sure.
Time you want to meet?
I say 11:15. Well, something to eat. Right back to the screen. 2-2. Red Sox come in Thursday for a 4-game weekend series. 2-2. Got him looking.
Nice slider.
Second strikeout of the night for Corey Kluber. And it comes at the expense of Josh Willingham, who was left admiring.
Yeah, locked him up right there. Started it right. He knew it was coming down. He just couldn't pull the trigger. Good pitch. There's the slider. And a dandy. Locks him up. First out of the inning.
Now Justin Morneau drove in the Twins' only run with a 2-out RBI single in the first. Fastball at the knees, outside corner. That was his 75th pitch of the night. Bang foul. Down the right field line. And a foul ball by inches. Morneau took his bat with him the whole way down the line. He wasn't sure, but he had an inkling it wasn't going to stay fair.
Ooh, there's one in there. That might have been the cutter. That didn't quite get in there enough. Had the distance, but it was foul.
Missed a little low. 2-2. Off the end of the bat, popped up foul over near the dugout, but not playable. Stays 2-2. Right-hander's 80th pitch of the ball game is a fastball up and away, and a full count. Morneau fouls a backdoor slider away, and he stays alive. We've had a lot of lengthy at-bats. This is the ninth pitch of this at-bat.
A lot of foul balls. Guy's able to stay alive, make that pitcher work to get him out.
Curveball got him looking. Froze him. And Morneau can't believe it. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the sixth.
That there was a really good pitch as well. 3-2 slider, backdoor variety at the knees. He gave up on it. That's what you want the left-handers to do. When you throw a good one right there, that's a perfect pitch. So back-to-back strikeouts called for Kluber here in the sixth against two really good hitters.
Now Ryan Doumit 1 for 2 with a single. Seen a lot of first pitch changeups, first pitch off speed deliveries, breaking ball.
Well, remember that last start.
Yeah.
First pitch, the home run in the big leagues this year for his start. And, he said, okay, back it off. Let these guys know that you will throw the pitch. Now, you remember Denard Span came up the third time, got a changeup and hit for a double. They'll make adjustments once they get to know you.
That is socked to deep center field and off the top of the wall. Brantley plays it well. And Doman into second with a 2-out double. He just missed hitting it out of here.
Yeah, he's lucky that ball stayed in the ballpark. He stroked that one nicely. Gets that fastball away. And look at that. He stayed on it. That hit about a foot from under that yellow line where the home run line is and came back down into play. So a 2-out double keeps the inning alive.
Tsuyoshi Nishioka, 0 for 1. Walked his last time up. Misses low for ball 1. On the ground, diving stop by Kochman, flips and got him. Kluber beat him to the bag. A sensational diving stop by Casey Kochman gets Kluber out of the inning, and the Tribe stays on top 4-1. Four 4-1 Indians, bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order for the Indians, Jason Kipnis, as Drupal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo facing Jeff Manship. Kipnis hit by a pitch, scored in the first, walked in the second, struck out in the fourth. And it's outside 2-0.
Well, they have had opportunities to add on. They haven't been able to do it. The only inning they haven't had a man left on base was the first inning. But it's been 2 every inning after that. So the opportunity, and this is a good point. You get in the middle part of the game when you have a lead at 4-1. If you can open it up right now, and it makes it a big difference.
Taking a fastball, strike 3-1. Good count here for Kipnis, who has not homered since June 17th against Pittsburgh. Ball 4. And the leadoff man aboard once again. Take another look at that terrific play made by Casey Kochman. Second defensive gem of the night.
Yeah, it really is. He stops that ball, took a big hop up. Nishioka gets down the line, but he gets over there. Kluber, they beat him to the bag. There you go. Nice play on both ends.
As Dribble Cabrera. 2 singles, a walk, and RBI tonight. Looks at ball 1. Twins bullpen up and busy again. I don't know how much longer Ron Gardenhire can watch Jeff Manship nibble his way through an inning. High fly ball, deep left. Back is Domit, still going back, and makes the catch right up against the wall at the 370-foot mark for out number 1.
Well, he hit it a long way, hit it high. But Ryan Domit's going to come down with it right around the 370 sign. So that'll be the first out here in inning number 6.
Now Shin-Soo Choo, who is 0 for 3 on the night. Left-hander Tyler Robertson up. That's Jay Robertson's son. We talked about him when we were in Minnesota, former Indian scout. Outside, 1-1. Missed again. 2 balls and a strike.
Someone hunting out there with the moose call.
One on, one out, and a throw to first. Kipnis, 21 steals on the year. That's a good action count, as you like to say. Runner holds, and Chu fouls it away. Got him looking. Fourth strikeout for Jeff Manship. How? I have no idea. Let's go back to the studios for another in-game update with Al.
Hey, man, pitchers duel tonight in Chicago, Kansas City, and the White Sox. Chen against Peavy. Only Chen has given up 2 hits. Problem is this one hit here by Gordon Beckham. That's been the difference. A solo home run, his 11th of the year. Peavy has given up just 1 hit. They're in the bottom of the 5th. It's only 1-0 Chicago. Matt?
We're in the bottom of the 6th. He started an hour after we did.
Yeah, well, that game going a lot quicker than this one. A lot of pitches thrown in this game.
One ball, one strike. And he came up with a foul ball there, huh? Kipnis held at first by Morneau. 1-1. Hit hard, right field, down the line. Rivera over to try and cut it off. He does. Kipnis coming around third, going to wave him home. Nishioka's throw to the plate, not in time. Headed to third, Santana. He is out to end the inning. But Santana's RBI double gives the Indians an insurance run, and they lead it 5-1.
And we've got lots for you to do out here at the ballpark. Thursday night will be Dollar Dog Night, presented by Sugardale. $1 hot dogs all night long. And then on Friday, we've got fireworks presented by Progressive. Those fireworks will be set to the music of A Summer of Love. You can log on right now, get your tickets early and save at Indians.com.
Very good.
(5-1). Indians on top. Going out of the 7th inning.
Well, and Kluber's still on in this ball game. Came back, had 2 strikeouts last inning, gave up a double, and then got the ground out on a nice play by Kochman. So he'll go out to start it. We got somebody up warming up. Looks like Tony Sipp. Maybe for the top of the lineup when they get to Span and Revere.
And a strike to Brian Dozier, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Softly lined right field near the line. Fair ball. Might have hit right on the chalk, and Chu fumbles around with it, but Dozier will stop at second base.
Yeah, you couldn't place it any better down the line. This one just lands inside fair territory. Go up against the stands. So that's going to be a double, leadoff double, third double for the Twins tonight.
Now Jamie Carroll 0 for 2. Fastball strike. Outside corner at the knees. It's 0-2.
He could dig deep. This could be his last hitter.
Two-strike pitch. Breaking ball fouled back. Tigers lead the Yankees 5-3. They're in the 7th in Detroit. White Sox still hold that 1-0 lead over Kansas City in the 6th. Here it's 5-1 Cleveland. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Missed again. 2-2. Again, Carroll gets a piece of it. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carroll flied to right in the 2nd. He bounced out in the 5th. Actually drilled one off the knee of Kluber. One hopper that came back and hit him off the right side of his knee, but he was able to make the play to get him up. He's pitched well here tonight. You're talking about the hottest hitting team in baseball since the All-Star break. And he has shut him down. Cabrera bobbles it, fumbles it, and Carroll is safe.
I don't know if Dozier had anything to do with it running in front of him. He wasn't going to go to third. He just didn't catch it cleanly. So I'm sure that's going to be an error on Cabrera. I mean, you see, Dozier gets out of the way. He peeked. He took his eye off it. I didn't think he was going to even make a throw. He took his eye off of it. And that's going to go as an error. So now you see that hand goes into the glove before the ball Bounced off his hand. He was still able to get it cleanly and make a throw, but not before Carroll could beat it out.
And so Kluber will leave with the outcome still hanging in the balance here. Tribe leads it 5-1. 2 on, nobody out for Minnesota in the 7th. Kluber out here in the 7th inning.
Well, Corey Kluber did exactly what a pitcher needed to do for the Indians. He came out, he was pretty aggressive. He mixed in all his pitches. He had some good defense behind him. Kochman made a couple of very nice plays, and then he settled in. He made some good pitches. There's a ball off his knee that he's able to jump on, throw him out. Gets a double play ball when needed. And boy, I mean, the staff desperately needed it. He gave him 6 innings. Unfortunately, you know, he could have been out there a little longer, but there was an error made. So he's out, 6 hits. He allowed 1 run. They have runners at first and third now with nobody out. And turn it over to Tony Sipp for the 46th time. He's coming up to face the top of the lineup. And the left-handers are coming to the dish for Minnesota. So a nice job tonight in his second start for Corey Kluber.
Popped him up.
Thank you
on
very
the
much.
infield. First pitch. Kipnis calling everybody off. Makes the catch, 1 away. All right, time now to get a look at that AT&T trivia question again. 4 players in Twins history. Back-to-back 30 homer seasons. Who are they? Well, we know Killer, right?
Killer, Allison. How about Herb? I mean, not Herbig, but Gaetti and Morneau.
There you go. Thanks for playing, Rick. There'll be some lovely parting gifts for you backstage.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Wink. Wink Underwood.
Oh, yeah. Our grand champion will be returning tomorrow night.
No, he's off. We got to tape some more shows tomorrow.
Going to our studios in Burbank.
Yes, we are.
In the hole, Kipnis closes the gap, throws him out. Revere retired, 2 down, a run comes home, and it's a 5-2 ball game. That'll be an unearned run to Corey Kluber.
Yeah, he didn't hit this ball hard enough to get through. Kipnis able to catch up to it. You'll see Kochman go back, but the run scores, so they answer that run that the Indians just put on. It's a 5-2 game now.
Joe Mauer 0 for 2 with a walk. It's down low, ball one. In there for a strike to Joe Mauer, who is 0 for 2 here this evening. Two balls and a strike. Way up high. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you don't want to bring that tying run to the plate who is on deck. So you want to force this guy to put it in play.
And he walked him.
No, this may be it for Sip.
2 on, 2 out. Josh Willingham coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Here comes Manny Eckel.
Yeah, you can't let him pitch to Willingham. He's going to have to face Joe Smith.
So Sip gets 2 outs, but surrenders a key walk here to keep the inning alive. We've got a timeout with the Indians on top 5-2. Minnesota with 2 on and 2 out, and their big bopper Josh Willingham coming to the plate. 29 home runs on the year. And the Indians go to Joe Smith for the 49th time this season. 7 wins, 2 losses, ERA 3.11. Willingham tonight has flied to left twice, called out on strikes his last time up. And a strike called to Willingham.
Hit him.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yes,
Got him
it
on
did.
the front leg. Willingham will take his base, and they're loaded up. And Justin Morneau will be coming to the plate.
He just heard tip a piece of the uniform or the leg or the right there off the thigh. Just barely got a piece. So he will go to third or first base. It'll load up the bases. Right, enough to make you shake your head over there. They're saying, come on, we need one more out this inning, boys.
Justin Morneau, 1 for 3. 2-out RBI single in the first. And it's ball one outside. Morneau, a smash to second. It goes through the legs of Kipnis. Scoring is Carroll. Scoring is Mauer. On his way to third goes Willingham. And the Twins have closed to within a run at 5-4. Oh, man. Jason Kipnis, who has been so good defensively at second base this year, had one go right through the old wickets.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to bounce back from this one. They should be out of the inning. It's a routine play, and he just doesn't get the tailgate down. 2 runs will come in to score. There are still 2 runners on base. And back to the mound goes Manny Acta.
The second error of the inning. And this nightmare continues for the Indians. Chris Seddon coming on when we come back. He'll be facing the switch hitting Ryan Domit, who is 2 for 3 with a single and a double on the night. Jason Kipnis, who committed the error that should have ended the inning, was given a reprieve after last night he was charged with a throwing error. The official scorer changed his decision right before today's game and gave the error to Carlos Santana. And that preserved Kipnis' 56-game errorless streak. But now, the error here really hurts his 2-run score.
Well, they're going to have to pick it up because Minnesota's getting 5 outs in this inning. And the tying run is on third base. So Seddon has to come in here and pick up his defense is what you have to do. They have opened the door. This is going to be one of those games. We're only in the 7th inning. So pick up your defense. Second error in the inning.
Ryan Domit with a liner to short. Cabrera on one hop goes all the way to first. Got him. Oh, yeah, clutch defensive play by Asdrubal Cabrera after he committed an error earlier in the inning. Finally gets the Tribe out of it. And it's a 5-4 Indians lead. And the 7th inning stretch brought
Cam get over stuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. And their Indians trying to make it a ball game now. Back to a one-run ball game, and this is what ended the inning. A nice backhanded play by Cabrera on the short hop. He stayed with it, went to a knee, popped up, and throws it all the way across the diamond. Kochman with the stretch, and it is bang-bang at first. And it's a good thing they got him, or we would have had a tie ball game. So after the 2 errors, the Indians were able to get out of it. Tyler Robertson, the left-hander, coming on now for the 18th time. No record. He has pitched 10 2/3 innings, given up 11 hits and 15 strikeouts.
You know, it's another situation, too. I mean, you can't excuse the poor defense. I mean, those plays have to be made. Errors do happen. Understand that. But, you know, right now you're looking at some of those opportunities that the Indians had early in the game. And
yeah.
You know, that's.
Well, they got out of it with the lead. Let's look at it that way. They've got to come back. You just cannot give a team. They had 3 runs in the inning on 1 hit. So, I mean, the walk and a couple errors, and it's the highest scoring team since the break. You don't give up runs. So now see if they can come back and answer that 3-run top half of the inning.
Brantley looks at a ball just off the plate. Fouled back. Stays to 2-2. Lays off, a ball in the dirt, and a full count. Ron Gardenhire and his longtime pitching coach Rick Anderson. Their starter, Samuel DeDuno, went just 4 innings tonight. Brantley lines it right back up the middle for a leadoff single.
Michael's been on 3 times. A good at bat. Down in the count 0-2. Works it to 3-2 and gets the base hit right back up the middle. Hit number 8 for the Indians, and a leadoff man aboard again. Slider out over the plate. He wanted to throw it for a strike. Michael says, that's fine. Throw it for a strike. I'm going to hit it for a hit.
All right, so he's aboard to start the inning. Casey Kochman. When the Indians had 2 on and nobody out in the third, Kochman attempted to bunt the runners over. He was unable to do so and then wound up getting them over with a ground ball to the right side. He squares again, bunts it up in the air, and it's caught. And a quick throw to first, but no double play. So 1 away as the bunt attempt goes awry.
He tried it one other time tonight. Bunted it on the ground foul. This time he tries to pull it to first and popped it up, and Mauer gets it. Tried to throw behind. Brantley got back in time. Boy, oh boy. Anytime you try to put the bunt on, they can't get it over. You don't put it on, they make it out. It's what do you do? I think the one thing you do, you got to be consistent with it. If you're going to put it on, you got to put it on all the time. And if they can't do it, that's their own fault. They got to get it down, and then blame's on them as a hitter.
Shelley Duncan, a 2-run homer back in the second inning, walked in the third, struck out in the fifth. Fouled, ooh. And that got a pretty good chunk of Mauer.
It looked like it got under his mask and maybe a piece of the throat. That thing came up underneath. Watch this. It comes up under that little piece there on the mask, straight down and up underneath, and got him in the throat. Sure did. That's the second time he's taken it tonight.
Well, that'll make you gasp for air a little bit.
Holy smokes, yeah, that's not good. Sometimes those catchers wear that little gobbler thing that's down that hangs out over the bottom part of the mask. You can see that little piece there on the mask, but that one got underneath it. It went straight down and came right back up into the old Adam's apple.
Wasn't Steve Yeager the first guy to wear that, the extended piece?
Might have, because he got a bat in the neck one time. Look at, that's not good. He's been hit twice tonight. Ouch. There's nothing you can do about that. Absolutely nothing. Maybe having milkshakes for the next 3 days.
The 0-1. Duncan sends a high pop to right. Ben Revere camps under it. 2 down. Chance to win a $100 gas card. All you have to do is log on to STOHD.com and enter. Courtesy of Northeast Ohio Shell retailers and True North convenience stores. One new winner will be picked each week now until September 26th. Jack Hanahan 1 for 2 tonight. Runner goes. Brantley got a good jump, and even a strong throw by Mauer couldn't stop him. His 12th steal of the year.
Gets himself in scoring position. Went on first movement. They didn't throw over. It was not a bad throw by Mauer to get it down there, but Brantley, as you said, had such a good jump. He gets the hand in there and is safe. Second stolen base for the Tribe tonight.
1-0 pitch. Way out in front of it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul tipped it. And a count of ball and 2 strikes. Royals White Sox tied 2-2 in the 7th in Chicago. Detroit still leading the Yankees in the Motor City. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Hanahan strikes out. We'll go to the 8th. 5-4 Cleveland.
Is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Vinny Pistano, 49th appearance of the year, 3-0, 131 ERA. On to hold a 1-run lead, bottom third of the Twins order coming up here in the 8th inning.
Well, it was Seddon's throw day after his start against the Tigers. He came in to get a third of 1 out, third of an inning. He went back out in the bullpen to finish his work.
Well, the Indians needed help in the bullpen, which is why Frank Herman got the call up today and Jose Lopez designated for assignment. They wanted to have another arm available in that bullpen, in particular for long relief, just in case. And it's unfortunate that you have to plan that way, but when you go 10 games and your starters are, averaging 4 innings a game, you got to have that plan in place. Nishioka shattered the bat. Hanahan made a terrific stop and throws him out. There's pieces of that soldier all over the field. Man, that bat, half of it went up the first base line. The other part of it's over near second base.
And the rest of it's in his hand. But Hanahan makes a nice play. Had to dive for it. Comes up and throws it across in time to get him.
Brian Dozier led off the 7th inning with a double and came around to score for Minnesota. Pop foul. That's going to find its way to the seats, out of play. Now the 0-2 to Dozier. Bouncing ball to short. Cabrera on the move. Throws in a hurry, and he gets him 2 down. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Casey Kochman tonight defensively has made some just terrific plays. Took a hit away from Mauer right there with a diving stop. This was a beautiful play down the line.
Yeah, he can pick it. A couple of nice plays. Take away hits from the Twins.
Now Jamie Carroll. Carroll 0 for 3. Reached on the error by Cabrera in the 7th inning and then came around to score.
Well, Carroll, a guy that normally takes a strike. But I think against Pastano, he got the count in his favor. He didn't want to spot him a fastball because that ball seems to explode when it comes from the arm of Vinny Pastano. See a lot of hitters swinging late, and he does want to get to that slider.
Down the first base line, just beyond a diving Kochman. And he slams on the brakes, chew through behind him, and Carroll quickly scampering back to the bag. So that keeps the inning alive for Denard Span. Carroll just served it right down the first base line.
He's one of those guys, boy. He's a pesky hitter. He's going to find a way to try and put it in play. Gets it by Kochman at first, so a 2-out single. Keeps the inning going, allows Denard Span to come to the plate.
Span takes fastball outside corner for a called strike. Indians clinging to a 5-4 lead here in the 8th. Tying run at first with 2 down. And Pastano in there for a strike. And it's 0-2. Two-strike pitch, ran it in off the plate. Six-3 Tigers. They're in the 9th now in Detroit over the Yankees. White Sox trail the Royals 3-2 in the 7th in Chicago. The 1-2 missed outside to even the count.
Tried to back him off the plate with the 0-2 pitch and then come in with the backdoor breaking ball on the 1-2 pitch and missed on both of them.
Now the 2-2. Ooh.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
I saw some body movement out there. I don't know if he thought it was a good pitch. He didn't get the call. Santana looks back. There were a few bodies moving. Where was that?
I guess he thought it was high.
I don't know. That looked pretty good.
That's right at the top of the strike zone. Runner goes, payoff pitch, fouled into the Indians' dugout. I'm not so sure on that previous pitch. Santana didn't maybe come up out of his crotch a little too quickly, and he didn't block the home plate umpire. Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that, but it didn't look like that pitch was.
Sure looked like a good pitch.
Too high, but anyway, it's 3-2, and Carroll's going to have a jump. No, he stayed right there. It was mask high. He didn't have to get up.
Another 3-2 coming to Span when he gets back into the box. Carroll will be off and running at first. Fouled back, got a piece of the umpire that time.
We've seen a number of these things tonight. Foul balls to stay alive. Goes off the shin guard of Mike DeMuro.
And this is pitch number 8 of this at bat right here. Pistano battling Span after Carroll kept the inning alive with a base hit just inside the bag at first. He's off, and it's ball 4. 2 on, 2 out. And now Ben Revere coming to the plate. Revere 1 for 3 on the night, and here comes Scott Radinsky.
Well, don't know what you're going to tell him right here. This is a guy he's got to get.
Well, every homer hit this year by the Indians means Rick and I donate $5 each to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips donates an additional $50. And thanks to Shelley Duncan's dinger earlier tonight, we're up to $6,000 raised on the year. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. 2 Twins on, 2 Twins out. Ben Revere, who singled and scored in the first, extending his hitting streak to 21 games, will be the batter. And Carroll, who represents the tying run at second base, a good base runner. Carrero is playing awfully deep and left. He's now come in about 5 or 6 steps. Ball 1 down low. Two balls, no strikes. Joe Mauer waits on deck. Fastball in there for a strike. It's 2-1.
Well, it looked like that Rivera is going to make him throw a strike all the way. He was taken, didn't offer at it.
Slowly hit on the ground to short. Cabrera goes to second, and they get the inning-ending force. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It remains 5-4 Cleveland. Bottom of the 8th inning. It will be Ezekiel Carrera, Jason Kipnis, and Asdrubal Cabrera coming up against Tyler Robertson as the Indians try to add to a 1-run lead. And a strike called on Carrera as he tried to drag Bunna's way aboard.
Not a bad thought. Just got to let the ball get to you. Bunt it before you run.
Bunts it with him this time. Morneau, quick turn throw, not in time.
Nicely done.
Boy, Carrera went in with a full head of steam and just did beat the play at first. Nishioka objected to first base umpire Jim Reynolds' decision.
He bunted that ball when he was in the box, placed it beautifully, and they weren't going to beat him. Watch, the hands on the bag. Here comes the foot. No. I think that was a pretty good call. This will be a better angle. See if the hand gets there first before the foot gets down. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Called safe. It was a nice bunt. Nicely done. Leadoff man aboard again.
Now Jason Kipnis, 2 walks, hit by a pitch. He scored 2 runs. He squares. He bunts third base side. Well bunted. And Carroll will get the out at first. So Carrera into scoring position on the sacrifice by Kipnis. In-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today to check out the all-new 2012 Sonata. Asdrubal Cabrera, a couple of big hits here tonight. One of them, a 2-out RBI single. Duncan's 2-run homer helped spark a 3-run second inning. And now they're going to pass on Asdrubal and go after Chu. Go left on left.
Probably not a bad thought right there. Chu against left-handers. They know he struggles. Leave the left-hander out there. I think they will have somebody up in their bullpen. Not quite sure. Santana follows Chu.
Here comes Rick Anderson to talk with Robertson. Chu drove in a run with a fielder's choice in the first, reached on an error in the fourth. He has struck out in his other 2 at-bats.
Okay, they got the right-hander up. Well, they can do whatever they want. See what happens here. His job is to come out here and retire Chu if he can. They're going to go over it. They're going to go over their scouting report. They'd love to get the double play. But the Indians now would love to add on and give him more than that 1-run lead. You're going to face the heart of the lineup in the bottom half, or excuse me, in the top half of the inning.
Chu trying to deliver here and extend the lead. In the dirt, ball 1. In tight, he missed again, 2-0. Turn, nothing doing at second. Carrera's got the kind of speed that if you fall asleep and don't even pay attention to him, he could swipe third, and with one out, you'd love to see that. But the Twins are very much aware that he's there, trying to keep him close. And they're going to make sure that he's very aware that they're aware of him. Double play ball to second. And that will end the inning. We'll go to the ninth. It's up to Chris Perez now to try and stop a 10-game slide. Five-4, Indians lead it, ninth inning. And Chris Perez coming on for the save now for the Indians, looking for his 30th on the year.
Getting a chance to redeem himself after Sunday's loss, a crushing blow to the Indians and Perez. So he gets a chance right out here Tuesday night to come right back and end the streak. He's going to have to go through the heart of the lineup, though, for the Twins. They've got Mauer, Willingham, Morneau. You got the big boppers.
I don't think he'd want it any other way.
Well, then that's the way it should be. You got to come back here. He's going to be ready to go. Let's hope he gets that first hitter.
Perez looks in. Mauer, 0 for 2. He's walked twice and scored a run. After the blown save Sunday in Detroit, Chris on his Twitter account said, "There aren't enough words in the dictionary to describe how much I stunk today." Although he didn't use the word stunk. Then he went on to say, "Definitely the low point of my professional career." Fouled back. And I think a lot of that comes from, those guys, the late inning relievers, when you're in a losing streak like this. I mean, I know we talk a lot about pressure and, what's real, what's perceived, how you deal with it. But, man, you don't want to be the guy that lets the whole team down when everybody's fighting like heck to end a losing streak like that.
You never want to do it when you're in their job, but especially in that situation. He's been perfect in one-run saves. It's those big ones that have gotten away and gotten them.
He's got Maurer down on the count 0-2. Inside, he missed. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. One down here in the ninth.
Well, you don't see Maurer take many swings like this. This ball looked like it had some good run to it, going away, up out of the strike zone. See, that had good movement. He tried to flip it and just foul it off, and he was tardy on it, and Perez gets the strikeout.
Now Josh Willingham 0 for 3, hit by a pitch his last time up. Man, a slider for a strike. Royals have opened up a 5-2 lead over the White Sox. They're in the 8th in Chicago. As the Tigers close in on a win against the Yankees at home, and Detroit could move to within a half game of first. Just missed inside. Perez ready with a 1-1. And a fastball hit high and fouled on the left side, out of play. Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show comes your way right after the ball game here on Sports Time Ohio. Way outside, 2-2. Fastball took off a little bit wide of the mark and a full count. Justin Morneau waits on deck. Payoff pitch. Lined into center field, a base hit by Willingham. And the Twins have the tying run aboard with one out here in the ninth. And we'll bring up Justin Morneau.
Get a pinch runner, too. That's a slider on the full count, and he does a nice job of hitting that ball right back up the middle. Didn't try and do too much with it.
Darren Mastriani will run. Justin Morneau looks at a ball down low. Boy, close pitch, didn't get the call. It's 2-0. Hitless against Perez in 3 trips. Right back to the screen.
Well, he didn't leave anything left in that bag, did he? He got after it. He tried to give them the lead with the 2-0 swing. He knew he was getting a fastball. He got some extension on it and fouled it straight back.
Now the 2-1, runner goes. And it's called a strike. Morneau looking back in disbelief at home plate umpire Mike DeMuro as Mastriani picks up the stolen base. Santana will go to the mound.
It looked
call.
like it was
Yeah,
a good pitch
yeah.
at the knees. I mean, even though Santana came up, he wasn't going to have a chance at him anyway, but he was coming up trying to make the throw. Morneau pleading his case. So now they're going to go out there, go over their signs.
Tying run in scoring position with 1 out. Thirteenth steal for Mastriani. Hit down the first base line. It's a fair ball. Kicks off Kochman. Rolls into right field. Coming around third and scoring the tying run is Mastriani. A 5-5 ball game here in the ninth on a bad hot ball down the first baseline. Kochman, who's been spectacular defensively tonight, couldn't come up with that one.
I want to see what that ball hit. I thought it was going to be a foul ball, to be honest with you. I'm looking down the line. There's Kochman. He's a few feet off the line.
Oh, it did look foul, didn't it?
It did to me, but it looked like it went right over the bag.
Yeah, it might have
and then
kicked back.
It did take a bounce. Watch, it takes a bounce at the end up on Kochman. I mean, when I first looked at it with the naked eye, to me it looked foul. But I mean, we're sitting behind the play, so I can't tell.
It looked like the ball hit in foul ground in front of the bag.
Error on Kochman,
and it is a
third error for the Indians tonight.
Drilled right center field in the gap. That's going to go to the fence. Morneau around second, on his way to third. They'll have to hold him there. And so now the Twins have runners at second and third with only 1 out after the double by Domit.
Well, he plugs a gap, and it's a good thing they didn't pinch run for him because they would have had somebody to score. It plugs a gap. It gets all the way to the wall. Morneau's on first base. Domit, he hits. This kid can hit. He's swung the bat very well. And here they come again. They get that extra chance. It's 5-5. They have runners at second, third, 1 out. The infield has to come in.
Cut of the grass all the way around the horn. Nishioka at the plate, looks at a ball up high. Nishioka hitless in the series, 0 for 8. And that's outside, 2-0. Now the 2-0. In the air, deep left. Back is Carrera. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Justin Morneau. He will score, and the Twins take a 6-5 lead. Nishioka, his first RBI of the year with the Twins. And it's a big one for Minnesota.
Certainly is. He was able to put the ball in play and get the go-ahead run to go home on the sac fly.
Second consecutive blown save for Chris Perez, and in addition to blowing the save, the Twins take the lead. Brian Dozier with 2 down and a runner at second. Now left-hander Glenn Perkins getting ready for the Twins. Santana, Brantley, Kochman coming up for the Tribe. Out of play to the right. Out of play. In the air, shallow left, long run. Carrera on the move, can't get there. Another run will score. 7-5 Minnesota. 3 runs here in the 9th inning on a bloop 2-out RBI single by Brian Dozier.
Well, a team that has scored the most runs since the All-Star break, you give them a break, and they certainly take advantage of it. That looked like a wiffle ball swing, but he's able to bloop it in, get it in front of Carrera, puts it in play. Something good happens for the Twins, something bad for the Indians.
And now a gap shot, bloop toward left center field. Dozier all the way to third as Jamie Carroll delivers a 2-out base hit, and the Twins still rolling first and third with 2 down. Minnesota on top 7-5 as Frank Herman now will begin to loosen in the Indians bullpen, and Scott Radinsky coming to the center of the diamond. Just incredible what continues here for the Indians. Tonight they finally got a good start, but the defense has been shoddy. It's been very costly. Every error has hurt them tonight.
Well, when you look at the errors tonight, you've got one on Cabrera, you've got one on Kipnis, and now you've got one on Kochman. Your best fielders have made the errors tonight. And they did it back in the 7th. They ended up scoring 3 runs. They did it in the 9th. They've got 3 more runs in this inning with the 1 error. But then again, they've also followed up. They have 4 hits in the inning. They got the sac fly when needed. And they desperately need that 3rd out and keep it a 2-run ball game and give that offense one more chance.
8th man to bat in the inning is Denard Span. Perez ready, the 1-0 pitch. Down in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. It's low, 3-0. And Chris Perez he's just probably seething inside to the point where he can't even focus on home plate.
Well, I mean, you've got to maintain your composure to get out of it. He is going to have to work awfully hard to come back here.
3-1 to count. Runner at first breaks for second, and a foul ball by Span, full count. The Indians led this game 5-1 going into the 7th inning, and just when you were about to let yourself think maybe finally this nightmarish run is over, the Twins scored 3 times, taking advantage of 2 errors to close the gap to a run, and now they've come back with 3 more here in the 9th, taking advantage of another error, and now the bases are loaded, and they've batted around. The 9th man to bat will be Ben Revere, and Manny Acta has got to go back to the bullpen. So Chris Perez can't get out of the 9th inning. He gives up 3 runs And Minnesota is on top 7-5. They've got the bases loaded with 2 down, and this marks the return of Frank Herman, who spent the entire season at AAA. Herman will be facing Ben Revere.
Frank, a guy that spent most of all last year here. Came out and thought he was going to be on this ball club in spring training, and then right at the end of spring training, he ended up going back down.
All right, so here we go with Twins at every base and 2 down, and Ben Revere is 1 for 4 on the night. Singled and scored back in the first. A little bit high, ball 1. Missed low, 2 balls, no strikes, nowhere to put him. Now the 2-0. Smashed off the mound, and Cabrera makes a nice play, flips to Kipnis to end the inning. But the Twins score 3 and take a 7-5 lead now into the bottom of the ninth. 7-5. And on for Minnesota is Glenn Perkins.
Perkins 6 saves in 9 opportunities. The left-hander coming on for the 50th time. 2-1 record, 57 strikeouts in his 48 and a third innings. So the Indians are going to have to get a couple base runners on and try and get some runs to keep this ball game going if they want to stop the streak.
Mastriani stays in the game. He's in left. Carlos Santana will lead it off and takes a strike from Perkins, the left-hander. In there for a called strike. Here's the set in the 0-2. Downstairs. Tigers held on and beat the Yankees 6-5 at home tonight. They've gone to extra innings in Baltimore. Mariners O's tied 7-all. Texas beat Boston at Fenway 6-3. The Royals lead the White Sox 5-2. Chicago batting bottom of the ninth. If Kansas City hangs on, then Detroit is a half game out of first in the AL Central. Santana trying to spark an Indians come from behind rally here in the bottom of the ninth. He needs to get on base. The 1-2 pitch. Hit high in the air, deep to center, but Span looks like he's got room. He does. One away. That's going to bring up Michael Brantley. Brantley takes a strike. Brantley shoots it foul. And the count 0-2. Again, he fouls it away to stay alive. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 down here in the bottom of the ninth. Indians down 7-5. Minnesota with 6 unanswered runs in this game. And the 3 Indians errors have played a big part in it. Again, Brantley just spoils it. Chopper to short. Dozier flips it over, 2 down. Now Casey Kochman 1 for 4 on the night with a double. It's up to him, or it's another game in the loss column to keep it alive here. Hard hit bouncer to short, kicks off the chest of Dozier. He recovers, throws, And this one is over. This disastrous stretch of Indians baseball continues as they have now dropped 11 in a row. The Twins come back with 6 unanswered to win it by a final score tonight of 7-5. And as the Tribe files out of the dugout and back to the clubhouse to try and put the pieces back together, we take a look at the key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, it was a very key play. Back in the 9th inning, you're going to see Morneau hit a ground ball, look foul. But that ball comes back and takes a hop on Casey Kochman. He's credited with an error, but that brings in the run. And boy, oh boy, how close was that? They were able to add on after that. One more run, and they end up coming back to get the win.
Play of the game brought to you by KeyBank. Earn double rewards points during the KeyBank Summer of Rewards. Final numbers tonight: Minnesota 7 runs, 11 hits, and error, 13 left. For the Indians, 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors, 10 stranded. Winning pitcher is Tyler Robertson, his first major league win. He's 1-0. Save to Glenn Perkins, his 7th. The losing pitcher, Chris Perez, he drops to 0-4. With the win, Minnesota is 49-61. With the Indians' loss, they are now 50-60. Time of the game, 3 hours, 40 minutes. The attendance, 14,813. We're back to recap things on the postgame show next.